Once upon a time, there was a very dense and vast forest. The forest was so deep that sunlight barely reached the ground. And within this very forest lived a large flock of vultures. These were no ordinary vultures. They were vultures renowned for the strength of their wings and sharp eyesight. Each vulture had the power to catch a lion in its claws. There was no such thing as cowardice, laziness, or fatigue in this flock. They all lived together, carrying each other along. But as they say, every story has a twist, and this one's twist came one day when they all flew far away in search of prey. While flying, these vultures spotted a small island in the water below. When they landed on the island, their eyes were dazzled. Fish, frogs, and other small creatures roamed freely throughout the island. They didn't have to exert themselves to catch them. Just land and eat. They liked the island so much that they thought, "Wow, what a life! Here they could feed themselves without effort. Why fly back to the vast forest where hunting requires so much effort?" And so it was. All the vultures settled there, eating their fill all day, resting and basking in the sun. Their bodies and minds became so lazy that their hunting skills gradually weakened. Their claws no longer held the strength. Their lives were now immersed in leisure. But among the flock, there was an elderly vulture, the most experienced of all. When he saw his companions so lazy, a strange fear arose in his heart. He began to worry about his companions. The old vulture repeatedly explained to his friends, "Look, brothers, this life of comfort is becoming our biggest enemy. Our strength, our skills, everything will slowly fade away. One day we'll even forget how to hunt. Let's fly back to the forest where we used to toil." But these lazy vultures, drowned in laziness, were unmoved by his words. Instead, they laughed at him. One vulture said, "He's old. His brain isn't working. That's why he's advising us to give up our life of comfort." Then another vulture laughed and said, "Go ahead, sir. We'll stay here." The old vulture was deeply saddened by their laziness. When he saw that no one was willing to listen to him, he decided to return to his old forest alone. He knew that a life of hard work was better than a life of comfort. Even if alone, he wanted to follow the right path. Days, weeks, and months passed. The old vulture was overjoyed to be back in his forest. Then, when he remembered his old friends, he decided to visit them on the island. When the vulture flew to the island, his eyes widened at the sight. There was complete silence. No vultures were flying, not a sound was heard. There was only death and fear everywhere. The corpses of vultures were scattered everywhere. It looked as if a battle had taken place. He quickly began searching for everyone. Then he spotted a wounded vulture, breathing its last. He approached it with great sadness and asked, "Friend, how did this happen? Who came here?" With great difficulty, the wounded vulture said in its last breath, "We were attacked by a pack of leopards. We couldn't fly. Our strength and claws lost their grip. Laziness killed us." Saying this, the old vulture was heartbroken. He returned to his forest and learned a valuable lesson that day. He understood the importance of hard work and activity in life. Laziness is a disease that eats away at a person from within. It not only saps your strength and skill, but also makes you vulnerable to major challenges.